Here we are at the final round of the winner's bracket, but this is a double elimination tournament. The winner of this match will become champion and then face the winner of the loser's bracket. Let's go.
All right, we have another chance for someone to move on. Unfortunately, someone's going to get a loss. That doesn't mean they're out because you guys are both undefeated. We have Q Davidson, we have Zac Moore, two absolute beasts. I'm excited about this match. Hope the car holds up. So I'm going to flip the coin. Q, you call it in the air.
Heads.
Heads. It is tails. So you get your choice.
Let me take the driver's seat.
Driver's seat? All right, go ahead and get in there. All right, Q. So you've seen Zac earlier. Looks very impressive, very explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Got some weight advantage, I think, on you.
Mm.
Does that worry you at all?
No.
No, that's a quick answer. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. But he is extremely explosive, so
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how much I can deter his explosivity in the car.
You're gonna try to neutralize that a little bit.
A little bit. We'll
Okay.
see if I can.
Well, you're the king of scrambles, so I'm sure you.
Oh man, I would love to have that title. Oh,
Okay, I just gave it to you.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Zac. All right, man. So you had a long match that first one. Did you have enough time to recover?
Absolutely.
You feeling good?
I was ready to go immediately.
Really?
Let's go.
That is impressive. That is impressive because that was, I mean, explosive, nonstop. You guys were going at it and you guys. It's funny because you had told me that you wanted to go for the submission, just get him out of there, and yet you broke a record. You broke Q's record of points in a match. Do you know how many points you had?
24.
24. And I don't even know if that's counting the last one that won you the match. So anyway, very impressive. I wish you luck for this one. Each time it gets a little bit tougher, right?
Absolutely, man. One of my very first ever jiu-jitsu competitors was Q.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Very first ever.
Okay, all right.
What did the Russians say? Let's wrestle.
Okay, good luck, man. Woo!
Zac Moore making his way to the Scion for this winner's bracket final between Q Davidson and Zac Moore. These two gentlemen have met before in competition, but this time it's inside the car for the championship. Here we go.
Palms down. Hajime!
And we're off immediately. Both competitors grab the other's seatbelt. Looks like Q Davidson gets the jump. He's out of the seatbelt first. However, Zac Moore, with some quickness, has wrapped him up in a front headlock, and now there's a battle for supremacy in the front seat. This is the matchup that many of us have wanted to see all along. It's wrestler versus jiu-jitsu practitioner. Q Davidson, of course, one of the most experienced American Carjitsu competitors, and of course, Zac Moore coming off of a big win over Leroy Davidson. They're both outside of the car now. Quick refresher on the rules. If you're outside of the car, that's fine, but the minute either of you touch down outside of the car, we stop the clock and restart. So at this point, we are still in action. Q Davidson he's susceptible to a back mount here, but it looks like there's not a lot of room here. Q's trying to apply pressure against the back of Zac Moore using the top of the door frame here. And Zac's in a tough spot here. Q's also susceptible, but right now he's protected because of the top of that door frame, that window liner there. And now Q looks to be pulling himself outside of the car. Okay, and now they're going to engage again in the front seat. Q Davidson versus Zac Moore. Over-unders, now Q with the front headlock, and Moore's going to retreat into the driver's seat. And now we're in a precarious position for each. It's been a long day inside of this Toyota Scion, and right now the temperature is 84 degrees. The breathing of these competitors is extremely labored, and they are both exhausted from earlier rounds. However, now Q's going to lay the seat down, make a little bit more room for them, and it looks like they're both trying to head into the back seat, but Zac Moore wants back mount, and he wants it badly. So far, no points have been scored. These are the two highest scoring competitors in the league currently. And just as Zac Moore... Okay, Zac Moore does achieve mount. That's 4 points for Zac Moore. Again, those points do not count during this match. They are for the season's leaderboard only. It takes a submission to win the round at Carjitsu Championship. Now, Q Davis is pulling himself all the way outside of the window, and I think he's using it to scrape Zac Moore out of mount, and it has worked. Now Zac's trying to gather up the legs, pull him back inside, but Q looks to be leaving the car. Oh, Q Davidson in a bad spot here. He's trying to maintain some position, but now we've got Zac Moore with what's called this is an inappropriate choke here. I think this is more of a joke than an attempt. But Q Davidson at any point can reach down, touch the floor with any part of his body, and force the restart. But there are only 5 seconds left in the round. Okay, and he falls out, so we've got a 5-second restart. Both of these gentlemen will get back in place and buckle up. And then we'll have 5 seconds to work before round 2.
We read buckle?
Buckle up.
Two great competitors. And we're off. Not much time here to work.
Time.
Davidson was looking for the choke. Zac is looking for 4 points. So after 3 minutes, round 1 has no winner. 4 points scored by Zac Moore, no points scored by Q Davidson, and there will be no break in between rounds, just enough time for the competitors to switch positions and restart. So we'll listen in and get round 2 underway.
I thought you were too. Moving on to round 2. Buckle up.
Round 2 underway. Zac Moore again in top position. Q Davidson looking to retreat into the back seat where there's more room. And it looks like we're just going to barrel roll into the back seat here. Zac seems to have the dominant position. He's got the back of Q Davidson, who has just pushed the seat forward to make a little bit of room to work. Two fantastic competitors in fantastic shape. Each undefeated at Carjitsu Championship. And now it looks like Zac Moore has fallen for the seatbelt lock, giving Q Davidson just enough time to pull a knee inside and make some space. Zac Moore's going to have to let go of that seatbelt so it can unlock if he wants to use it in the competition. Otherwise, he's just using his left hand unnecessarily to hang on. 86 degrees inside the car. Very difficult to breathe. They're claustrophobic. They're tired. And there's 2 minutes left to work. We've got 180 pounds. Zac Moore on top of Q Davidson. 8 points to naught. Listen to the breathing of the competitors. Both in impeccable shape, but physically exhausted. Zac Moore experimenting with that seatbelt there, that shoulder strap, wrapping it around the calf of Q Davidson. Lots of new techniques being discovered during this tournament. We've had some incredible fights. This is a double elimination tournament, so there has been a loser's bracket as well, and we've seen some crazy things during the loser's bracket. But it all comes down to the winner's bracket final right now. Zac Moore, the Oklahoma wrestler, and Q Davidson, the jiu-jitsu practitioner and mixed martial artist from Missouri. At this point, Zac Moore just absolutely smashing Q Davidson in both rounds. But at Carjitsu Championship, it takes a submission to win the round. There is no clear winner at this point. And if we go all the way to the third round will happen in the back seat. And it's a 4-minute round. However, if anyone were to finish round 2 with a submission, that would immediately end the match. Q Davidson trying to pull behind Zac Moore here and get back mount. Zac's using the dashboard to protect himself. Davidson lays down the driver's side seat, and now he's trying to apply some pressure. Not sure what the plan is here, but this is physically exhausting. Davidson in a great scramble, gets back, he's got hooks in, there's not much time, and that's the end of round 2. Wow. Fantastic action from both competitors. Now we're going to the third round, which will happen in the back seat. And as soon as both competitors can make their way to the back seat, we will begin the round. No shoulder straps. Once again, 4-minute round. Submission wins. And that winner will become champion at Carjitsu Championship. Here we go. Q Davidson with the shoulder strap. He slides a knee in to control Zac Moore. Zac Moore staying calm here, but he does have the seatbelt across his neck. At this point, it looks more like a tender moment, but I can assure you these two gentlemen are in full competitive mode. Listening to the breathing, it is exhausting, it's hot, it's miserable, and right now, Zac Moore has a 170-pound Q Davidson attacking him with the seatbelt. These two competitors are very equally matched. But at this point, this is becoming a battle of attrition. Who is more prepared, who's in the best shape, and who can withstand the horrible conditions in the backseat of this car during the competition. Q Davidson's fantastic in the scrambles. Zac Moore scoring more points than we've ever seen scored before. 35 points so far today alone. Q's trying to move behind here. Oh, very nice little slick move there by Davidson, and he's now taking the back of Zac Moore, who is physically exhausted but still fighting. With 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in the round, Davidson now has the back of Zac Moore, and Zac is tangled up in the shoulder strap. This is a bad situation for Moore, who is on the verge of potentially losing this tournament. Davidson attacking the neck. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Could we see an upset here? Holy smokes. Zac Moore is in trouble. Q Davidson putting everything he's got behind that shoulder strap completely around the throat of Zac Moore, who is hanging on by a thread. And it looks like Q Davidson may be on the verge of taking home this title. Holy smokes. And there's the tap. Q Davidson does it. Wow. Great respect between competitors, but the winner's bracket is won by our new champion, Q Davidson. Now Davidson will have to face the winner of the loser's bracket to unify this title, and he will then be the undisputed Carjitsu champion. Let's go down to the car and our host, Dallin Getling.
Well, we meet again. That was rough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go back to the very first round. He started to get on your back, had your back mount, and I thought it was brilliant how you used the window to scrape him off. Obviously,
exactly
that was
right.
you did that on purpose, right?
Yeah, that was actually my exact thought, is if I can get my head out the window, it'll scrape him off of my head and shoulders where he's trying to lock up and make him attack something else, so
Well,
I'll have a second.
Then you were able to turn and actually come back and kind of almost get on top in a more dominant position, coming back in.
Right.
Very good.
That little element of surprise. You know, they don't expect that.
Well, you know,
Somebody doesn't.
I that was a tough match. I have a feeling you might be meeting him again in the finals.
I think so too.
Because you got one more, so
Yeah.
we don't want to jump ahead of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are both looking good. So far, you are the only one remaining undefeated.
Whew.
So
It's quite a task.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you right now, it's quite a task. All these fellows are out here working really hard to compete, and they're all experienced grapplers. So it's not only a lot of fun, it's great for your jiu-jitsu experience, but it's also nice to see that you would be able to survive like a carjacking.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you can tell the difference. We were talking about that, actually, me and Kyron, one of the officials, about, you just get two guys in here, look totally different from you guys that are skilled and adapt to the environment, but you already have that base of jiu-jitsu, and you guys are discovering as you go that you're making this sport grow, and I love it. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
We've just learned from the medical team that Zac Moore is fine, but he has collapsed in the back, and he is going to be unable to compete due to physical exhaustion. That means Q Davidson will now face Zach Carlisle, the winner of the loser's bracket, and the winner of that match will leave today with the Carjitsu Championship inaugural title belt.